Welcome back, friends, to another Surprise Guest Sunday on 11:11. Today's guest is someone near and dear to me, one of my good buddies who is so good at so many things. She brings joy to every single thing she does. She really knows what matters in life, and she does everything with a lot of love, with fun, with passion, with gusto, and she doesn't get bogged down in all the drama and the ickiness and how heavy life can be. She finds the fun in every activity and makes even things that you might not think you'd want to do sound irresistible. So, with that in mind, mystery guest, will you please tell us who you are and what you do?
Oh, thanks, Joy. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited to share a little bit about me, and what better platform than this podcast? And you're just wonderful. Thank you so much. My name is JANIE, NICKEY, and I am a Christian health coach. I live in rural Northeast Texas with my wonderful husband of 45 plus years, and our menagerie of, I guess you could say, adopted or rescue animals, dogs, cats, and chickens, ducks. And I just love life and love the Lord and love to help people get healthy.
Yay! Before we get into my next question, I want to throw at you. You mentioned the love of the stuff you do. You've recently gotten some new credentials this last year. Can you share what you've been up to?
Yes, thank you. There is a wonderful gentleman, doctor named T. Colin Campbell, who is an adjunct professor with Cornell University. And he also wrote a famous book called The China Study. And he has a program. It's a nutrition program based on plant-based foods. And I just completed that in December.
And with your Christian coaching, you've taken some courses.
I have a certificate from the Christian Health Coach Academy back in December also. I was doing this all at the same time. So now I'm a certified Christian health coach through Christian Health Coach Academy.
How did you get into your particular line of work?
Okay, well, long story short, I remember being a little child, and if my mom was sick or someone was sick, I'd always want to take care of them and bring them, something to drink or take care of them, and also always rescuing animals and wanting to have animals. And I was actually in pre-med, taking some early pre-med type classes in high school, and I was a candy striper at the local hospital. And then in college, I switched over to health education, and I got my bachelor's of science in health education at the University of Illinois. And I've worked with the American Cancer Society, and I've worked as a Lamaze just teacher way back when, had my own pregnancy fitness classes, and had done a lot in health education. And so I've sort of put it on the back burner many years ago to raise a family, two wonderful children who are now adults with our grandchildren. And I was even a travel agent, had my own agency for 15 years. I always like to look for healthy options for food. And my husband was diagnosed with Crohn's disease back in like 1990. And being a health educator, I remember he was in the hospital for surgery from that. And they brought him a terrible breakfast of greasy food and coffee and sugary things. And I thought, this is crazy. So I started researching and helped him heal his Crohn's disease and sort of set me on a path to being a health coach. And I tried 3 times to be a health coach. The first time I took classes and certification, we were moved to Italy with my husband's job, and we lived there, and then Germany. And then I came back to the United States and started reapplying for a health coaching certification. And then we got moved again. And then so they say, the third time's a charm. This is my 3rd time. And now I'm a certified accredited health coach.
Yay! And you've definitely got that nurture caregiver gene. It sounds like you've had it your whole life, looking after the animals and the people and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most rewarding aspect of your work?
Oh, gosh. The most rewarding would be seeing people heal their bodies and improve their divine health through plant-based nutrition, by eating God's original diet, which I believe the closer you can eat to what God has provided us, the original diet, is wonderful. It's amazing how you can change your physical being and your health by just eating the right kinds of food. So to see people change from being sick with diabetes or cancer or what have you, adopting a wonderful, healthy diet and exercise, I'll have to say. And I think that's just so rewarding to me.
What about what you do has surprised you the most?
I think what surprised me the most, oh golly, well, is that people don't invest in their health. I was just at a beauty parlor yesterday, and I don't get my hair done. I get my eyebrows because I'm blonde, so I get my eyebrows tinted like once every 6 weeks. But I see ladies with all this foil contraption and chemicals going onto their head and everything, spending. One of my friends said she spends about $100, per coloring that she has to do every so often. But when sometimes I tell people my rates or, my program price, they're sort of taken aback. And it's just sort of interesting that they'll pay, $100 for new purse or dress or shoes or to get their hair colored, but they won't invest in their health by, using a health coach or something like that. So I think that's sort of the first thing that sort of surprised me.
You know, what occurs to me that a lot of these people, I think it's that not that they don't care about themselves, they think they can get it for free elsewhere online, not realizing they might get something, but it's probably not very high quality, the stuff that they're getting.
Yeah,
And if they want to have a professional who's got all the certification, not just to have the degrees, but actually has the real know-how, who's studied and practiced this for
yeah,
years, that is going to
yeah,
cost something. You wouldn't go to a lawyer
yeah,
that you find that is just got a blog on the internet and doesn't have a degree. You want to go to a
yeah,
professional in the
yeah,
industry. So I
yeah,
guess that just occurred
yeah,
to me. I wonder if that's part of it. They think they can get just as good for free, and they can't.
yeah. And there is a lot of good information on the internet, but then
Right.
there's a lot of misinformation about health. And, there's all these fad diets that come and go. I think a common misconception is like most people, don't know what a health coach is, let alone a Christian health coach. But as a Christian health coach, I help people achieve their health goals, and I create like a personalized eating plan or exercise plan, and I just offer support and help them embrace, biblically based healthful living and healthful eating. I would say also relaxation and just rest.
One of the things I love about what you offer, having been in one of your programs, was you've got all these fantastic substitutions. And you're a foodie, so people aren't missing out on
Yeah.
good stuff to eat. You're finding all the trickiest, healthiest ways to give them all the flavor, all the deliciousness and fun they look forward to. And also with the activities, when you were doing your program, every day you showed a video of you doing something else. You were, I don't know if it was kayaking or riding your bike or doing
Mhm,
this or doing
mhm.
that. And because I don't want to guess, but I'm guessing you're not 21 years old anymore. So,
No,
so, so
no,
to have,
no. My birthday is in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be 68. And it's like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? But what you were saying, people think, oh, I've got to go to the gym. I've got to go to the gym and work out, or I've got to do this kind of exercise. But what I like to tell my clients, just mix it up. Do what you love. If you like dancing around the house, turn on some great music and dance. Walking is more and more, they're finding, scientists and researchers are finding that brisk walking is almost just as good, if not better, than jogging. Swimming, kayaking, I mean, jumping on a mini trampoline, just move. That's the main thing. Just move your body. If you don't move it, you lose it.
I love it. That's a good way to put it. With everything that you've done with taking all these courses and accreditations and trying to get your own stuff started, and having the goal, the main goal of trying to be present and actually help people in an individual way. Is it difficult to balance the logistical aspects of being an entrepreneur with your goals for your business?
Oh, that's such a great question. I have so many interests and things that I love to do, like the shiny object syndrome. So, for me, one of my biggest challenges of being an entrepreneur is just staying focused on what my mission is and going from there and trying to incorporate some of my other interests into my business of health coaching. So, like, one of my big interests is herbs, growing herbs, using herbs, cooking with herbs, using them medicinally. So I just try to incorporate that with my health coaching. And by the way, in the Bible, you'll see many references to herbs and essential oils. So I think that's really exciting to use some of the Bible passages for your health conditions.
You've just talked about three things that you love that you've been able to combine in your work: the plant based eating, the biblical stuff, and the herbs. So you're
Yeah,
doing a great job of making it all make sense together.
thanks. Thanks.
What would you say is the biggest challenge you've had as an entrepreneur?
I would think going out on my own, my biggest challenge is anything to do with technology, trying to do a website or graphics. And I've had a wonderful hint friend help me with those named Joy. And Joy has brought joy into my life by helping me with some of these things. So I would have to say one of my biggest challenges being an entrepreneur is you're out on your own. I don't have a IT staff, or I don't have a graphics person that I can really hire. Because sometimes as an entrepreneur, you just have to bootstrap everything and learn on your own and get help. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs need to reach out and get some help and just try not to do everything by themselves. But I think for me, the biggest challenge is being on my own, dealing with technical issues.
I've got your back, my friend. Have there been any shifts that you've noticed in your industry or in any of these areas you're interested in?
Oh gosh. Well, yes, a big one. And I struggle with this. When I first started training to be a health coach, we're talking about 10, 12 years ago, everything back then, I would say not everything, 80% of coaching was done face to face. Now, and partially due to the COVID, the pandemic, people were not face to face. A lot of things went virtual. And I guess it's a challenge to me because I love people. I want to be in their face. And you learn so much about people just by the way they cross their legs, what they're wearing, gesticulation, what they do with their hands. And monetarily, you can monetize your business much better by going virtual. But I find myself just loving to be around people and coaching one on one, which financially is not as lucrative, but that's not really why I'm in this business. I'm in this business to help people heal themselves and get healthy. So I would say half of my business is virtual, and about half of it is face to face meeting with people in either their home or at a coffee shop or something like that.
And I know how you operate. You want to give them hugs and cook for them.
I do. I love cooking for people. I'm whole food, plant-based vegetarian, and I had to make myself learn about different ethnic cuisines. Like, we had some wonderful friends in from our former church in Ohio, and I made them a nice spread of Thai food. A month ago, we had our minister over, and he's a big carnivore, but I made Greek moussaka and hummus and baba ganoush and all those fun things. So I've learned that ethnic food, a lot of ethnic food, Asian and Middle Eastern, is very versatile, and I can make that vegetarian. And real quick, I'll put a plug in for the local Salvation Army. For 2.5 years, I cooked at the Salvation Army every Wednesday night. And it was sort of like going on the cooking show I think on the Food Network, called Chopped. I never knew what I would prepare until I got in the doors of the kitchen to see what they had in the cooler or their pantry. And I tried to make their meals healthy for these people that are very undernourished and don't have a lot of money and come to the shelter for a hot meal. So I'd always try to include lots of veggies and fresh fruit if I could.
Were you asked to make stuff with meat?
I was never asked to make anything with meat. I did use meat that we had because many of these people aren't used to a total vegetarian diet. So I made sure that there was a little meat and lots of veggies in most of my meals.
What is something you can share about yourself that might surprise people?
I would think that I love people. I'm a people person. I seem outgoing, but actually, I can be very shy in public. And I used to travel all over as a travel agent with my husband's business. We traveled, but I guess people might be surprised. I love my home. I love staying home. And I could probably go days just staying around my house and tinkering in the garden and not even seeing anybody other than my husband. So it's sort of interesting that I can be such a people person, but yet I love being by myself and in nature, just communing with nature and being home and doing things around the house.
That sounds delightful. Just for fun to get a sense of your personality, what are your 3 favorite movies and why?
Oh my gosh, I can tell this right away. This is top of the mind because we just watched it last month. We watch it once a year, and it's Groundhog Day. I love that movie because it's about sort of doing it over until you get it right. And I love the main character. Bill Murray's character is sort of obnoxious and very differential at the beginning until he realizes that people are people and they need to be seen and heard. And he has to keep doing it over every day until he gets it right. So I love that movie. Did you want 2 more movies?
Yes, that would be
I
great.
Another one that I have to watch. It's not Christmas unless I watch It's a Wonderful Life. I love that movie just because life is so precious. And the main character, Jimmy Stewart, who I've always adored, he said, I wish I hadn't been born. And think about the people you meet every day and how you can change lives just by being in somebody else's life, how you can change their life for the better, hopefully for the better. So I love that. It's not Christmas unless I watch it. So I always make sure I watch that. And then my third one, I've been watching since I was a little girl. And we always had the same meal. They showed it every year, right around, I think, October, November, The Wizard of Oz. I love that movie. What I like about that is you don't have to go far or do anything magical, but there's no place like home. I love my home, love being here, and there's no place like home. So I love that. And by the way, a segue, our son, on weekends when he's not making money, he's storm chasing tornadoes. So I don't know if that had something to do with it because
Oh,
we watch it
wow.
when he was a little boy too. He's a storm chaser.
Wow. Well, it's obvious by your choices that you are a softie with a big heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with all the fun
Oh,
stuff you've got going on, what are you looking forward to next?
okay, Joy. I am so excited. I haven't advertised it yet. I'm going to hold 2 or 3 one-day health retreats at our place. Our place is called Nicky's Nest. We have woods, 18 acres, hiking trails. We have about a 2-acre pond that we have kayaks and a paddle boat and canoe. And so I've had these in the past before. They're going to be a little different. I do cooking demonstrations, how to make a smoothie, what's the difference between a smoothie and juice. Perfect weather here in Northeast Texas. It's going to be an in-person for about 8 women only. Sorry, guys, women only. My goal is to have a whole day where women can relax, rejuvenate, revitalize, and we'll do some healthy cooking, healthy demonstrations, maybe go on a nature hike and do some stretching geared for women 40 and over, 50 and over, who are ready to jump back into getting healthy. And another thing about women that age is working on balance and fall prevention. We've had some women friends that have fallen lately, so that's a big thing. So that's another thing. And exercise and proper diet really helps build good bone structure and keep your balance. So that's what we will be doing.
And will any of them have a biblical basis to them? Any of your retreats?
Yes, yes, I will use several Bible passages to reinforce some of the practices that we're going to do and some of the menu planning also. We usually open with prayer. Then we also do a prayer walk right after lunch. And then we usually close with prayer also.
On Sundays, we usually like to give our listeners little gifts. By any chance, do you have anything for them?
Yes, biblically based herbal remedy ebook, how to use herbs for remedies or for your health.
Ooh, that sounds tasty. I like that one. I'll look forward to that. In our non
Right.
interview podcast segments, the other days of the week, we always assign our listeners a tiny task each day. What sort of tiny task would you like to assign them today?
I would love for them to just, no matter what the weather is, how you're feeling, I want you to get up, stretch, and go for a walk for 10 or 15 minutes, preferably outside, and see how you feel.
That sounds great. I feel energized already. That sounds fantastic. Thank you. What advice would you give to someone who doesn't know how to get started when it comes to plant based eating?
I would say the best thing to do is make a big salad and have it for your lunch or have it right before your dinner, and that will fill you up. And try to incorporate as many fruits and vegetables as you can in smoothies and just jazz it up a bit, make it fun.
They'd probably need your herb book for that.
Oh, that would be great.
And you were doing fantastic soups during the colder months. Oh my gosh.
Love soup. Yeah.
Me too. It's such a happy food.
It's so comforting. You can make it so quick. And now with the cost of groceries, making soup is very economical. And I love beans, beans, beans. And they're full of fiber, full of protein. They're so versatile and they don't cost much. They just cost pennies a pound. So just start incorporating simple, staple type food and go on the internet and look up easy plant-based or vegetarian soups or stews or casseroles, and you'd be surprised how your money can be spread so easily so that you're not putting a big dent in your bank account.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Any last thoughts you want to share before we sign off today?
Oh gosh, I just want to thank you so much, Joy. I appreciate this so much. And I just want people to know that your body is a temple of God and that God wants you to be healthy so that you can help be a blessing to others. So we need to take care of ourselves, just like the flight attendants say. They say, put on your oxygen mask, then help those around you. So sometimes when it comes to your health, you need to be selfish and take care of yourself so that you can take care of others.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much, my friend. Would you be interested in coming back in a few months to give us some more tips, especially seasonal ones, and let us know what else is going on with you?
Of course. I love
Yay!
it. I would love to.
Good, because otherwise I would have blackmailed you into it anyway. So I'm glad you said yes.
I would love it.
Wonderful salad recipes this summer and some soup ones in fall and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yay! One of these days I'll get to one of your retreats. I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, I would love that.
Thank you again, dear Janie, and everybody out there. Thank you so much for listening. And Charisse de Som to you all. To top.